So the one job I do need to resolve on my little van is that when I turn the key, so you can see me turn the key down here, everything sort of lights up and goes off. Now the key is turned into position 2, and if I pull the key towards me slightly, wiggle it around, somewhere in here, there is a sweet spot where it comes on. So you see all that comes on. Now if I let go of it, it goes off. Which basically means that where you position this within the key barrel is almost like a switch within itself. So at the moment, I can turn it on and off without actually turning the key. So effectively what you've got is a key barrel here. In fact, I think I have a spare one kicking around. A key barrel looks something akin to this. This is actually a door barrel. And then at the back of it, there's some sort of shape. It's actually, I think it's more like a T shape on the back of the one for the ignition, which goes into a switch which hangs under here. All that's happened is that switch is broken / failed, or might have a loose connection. And so while the key is going in and it's turning in the lock just perfectly, it's not actually doing anything on the switch, or it's opening and closing the switch as it goes. So unfortunately the van is basically bricked at this point in time. So I've got to take this panel off here, find out where the switch is. I believe it's just plugged in. I've got a short cable, it's plugged in just under here, and it should be a fairly easy swap. But before I order one, I want to take all of this apart and find out which one I'm ordering, because I think there are 1 or 2 small variants, although they should be relatively similar across transits of this age. It's just getting exactly the right one. So let's dig into it and let's rip this Transit to bits. Exactly the exciting car content you were expecting from Automotive Tales, right? So here we go, we've got the panels off. So you can see this little ring here is what picks up the transponder in the key. So that's basically the immobilizer. This is the barrel, and then the switch we're looking for, ta-da, is that one there, if it'll focus. So this is what tends to fail. And I think actually in this instance, yeah, I think the wiring actually plugs into it. So it's literally just this box here I need to figure out how to remove. Yeah, we can replicate the fault. The key is in ignition position 2. If I squeeze here, it should, there we go, that comes on, just like that. If I let go, it goes off. So it's definitely this at fault. Woohoo! So, switch is out, as you can see, and in theory, all you have to do is turn this, turn the ignition on, which it does, and actually quite reliably so. But I'm guessing the barrel in here pushes the switch in interesting ways. But oh, interesting, it slips off. Definitely the switch. The glow plugs warm up. Yeah, this switch is definitely dodgy. Glow plugs. Won't it let me? There you go. The van is alive. This switch is definitely a bit funny, because you can probably see the radio going on and off, the rev counter moving around. Occasionally it disconnects, but I don't think that's a wiring thing. Looks like we've got good connection, so it's just basically the switch. It does mean I can actually use the van. God, it stinks, this thing. I can use this van in the short term. I just hope I don't get stopped by the police, because this looks mighty dodgy. But I have a new key temporarily. Although I should point out this only works when the actual key is in the ignition here because of the immobilizer. So it'll be a few days before a new one of those arrives. In the meantime, I have this to solve. Hopefully, this little rocker cover gasket will solve the leaky van oil problem. So it likes to leave its mark wherever it goes in the form of a little black oil stain. As you can already see, it's doing here. So this is the first part to try and tackle. In typical Ford fashion, whoever designed this is a freaking idiot. There's a bracket which has got 2 bolts to hold it on. It's just to hold a sensor. It only needs 1 bolt. 1 bolt is fine. But there's a second bolt there, which is underneath this bracket. So there is no way of getting to this whatsoever except from the side. And because it's an 8mm and it's going aluminium and steel, so this is aluminium here. This is steel, that is stuck tight, and you can't get anything on to purchase properly because it's hidden underneath a bracket. Another bracket that also does not need to be there. That connector does not need to support there. It could support back over here and leave perfect access for a socket to go in from above. It's like it's been done on purpose to make that difficult to get to. Why? Right, there we go. The rocker cover is held on with 3 bolts. Where you've got to disconnect all of the loom for the injectors. You've got to disconnect all these pipes. The quick release pipe at the back, which has got a different fitting to these. The little bolt that's on the wrong side of that little piece of metal there to release the bracket to allow you to lift that far enough after you've taken that sensor off and broken the connector, obviously. And then take that connector off. All the connectors down here. The connectors up here. The extra thing that's bolted to the top of the rocker cover doesn't need to be bolted to the top of the rocker cover. And then once you've disconnected this boost hose and you've moved all this stuff out of the way and you've wiggled this piece backwards and forwards, then you can simply lift the rocker cover out. F you, Ford. So that is the first part of the job done. So rocker cover gasket is replaced. It's all back together. It is filthy, but it is back together. However, while I've been working on this, you can see the oil spot there. I think I may have figured out where the actual problem is. Luckily, I did get the sump gasket as well, so that's the next job on the list, but not today because, well, that simple job took way too long.
A few moments later.
So while I stated I might be waiting a while for this switch to be replaced, I filmed that yesterday on the 30th of December. Today is the 31st of December. So in less than 24 hours, it's been delivered. That is incredible. The question, of course, is, does it work? Well, let's find out, shall we? That'd be an absolute yes. I just need to find the screwdriver now to turn the ignition back off because the switch is set to on. And everything is on. The cool thing is, no matter how much I play with the switch, it doesn't go back off again. So that has definitely fixed the problem.
Coming up.
Yes, the coming up was from an M539 video, which was Bluetoothing from my phone to the car while I was making that last bit of video. If you don't know what I'm talking about, this is an amazing YouTube channel with a guy that rebuilds BMWs to a level of detail I can only dream of achieving. So I'll pop a link in the top of the screen here. Go and check out his channel. It's awesome. Anyway, that's all for this episode of Automotive Tales. Sorry, it's a little bit boring. It's just general vehicle maintenance I'm having to keep on top of over winter. Unfortunately, I've lost power to my garage, which is slightly annoying. I've got a short somewhere in parts of the wiring that I haven't already replaced, which is causing a problem. So things are once again moving very slowly, but I have had some progress with the Audi, which you'll see at the very end of this video. So that's all for this episode of Automotive Tales. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to, like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff, and we'll see you next time. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching.